that beacon of light that served as Boston's neon North Star for more than 50 years, the iconic Citgo sign. Standing atop the brick building at 660 Beacon Street since 1965, its fate is now in question after BU sold the property in October, and the new owner, Related Beal out of New York City, wants a lot more money for the space. In recent years, Citgo Petroleum Corporation has paid $250,000 annually for the spot, plus upkeep. But the Globe reports Related Beal wants as much as 10 times that amount. Citgo, of course, is not in love with that idea. Meanwhile, a city commission is studying a request that would make the sign an official landmark. But is a single sign really worth all the fuss? At least a chunk of the population argues it's nothing but a massive, cheap advertisement for the Venezuelan-owned oil company. Joining me are Larry Watson, Berkeley College professor and owner of Save Ourselves Productions. You laughing at me? I hope not.
I'm not.
And Greg Gaylor is the executive director of the Boston Preservation Alliance. Greg, thanks for coming. Why should this thing be preserved?
We think it's an icon of the city. If you look at images of Boston on national media, even within the city, the Citgo sign is up there with the Old North Church and the Swan Boats.
You're a pro-landmark guy for this, right?
I am very much a pro-landmark.
But wasn't it rejected in the 80s, I read somewhere? And if it was rejected then, why will it be not rejected now?
Well, I think there are technicalities that we can work through if we all get together and come to the table and work to make this an important part of the city, which it already is.
You're against the keeping of this thing on the skyline of the city, my friend?
I'm not necessarily against it, but I'm concerned that we selectively choose certain iconic images to pay a lot of attention to when they're pieces like the Eternal Presence, an incredible piece of sculpture in Roxbury at the National Center of African American Artists Museum that the late Alma Lewis found, and no one knows about it, and people are warned from going out into Roxbury and Dorchester because of danger of, so students, and every time somebody comes to town, I take them out there to see that. So I think if we pay as much attention to some of these other incredible pieces that really demonstrate a greater sensitivity for diversity and other groups that feel very passionately about these things, then I wouldn't be.
But they're not mutually exclusive. I mean,
though they're not mutually exclusive.
But the reality is, as important as that is to you, this is something that everybody in the city sees,
everybody,
right?
No, they may see it, but they may not see it in the same way of being as important as sometimes it is articulated, and it gets time on the news when we can't even in our tourist guides promote more something that the Eternal Presence and other kind of landmarks like that around the city.
You're getting it right now. How about this whole argument? We did this on radio the other day. I can't tell you how many people said the Venezuelans have a corrupt government. The government hates the United States. It's hated it for a year. This is a cheap ad, and it is cheap. 250 grand is like nothing. It is a cheap ad for a company owned by a government that is wildly unfriendly to the United States. How do you respond to that?
Well, first I'd like to respond to his comments and say I don't disagree at all. In fact, we agree that there are more parts of the city, throughout the city, that need greater protection. And part of the reason we think the Citgo sign is important is it's causing dialogues just like this.
Okay, how about the Venezuela?
The Venezuela thing, how many people that look at the Citgo sign think of Venezuela?
I do, because I think of Joe Kennedy and the oil he gave to poor people in the community that others have forgotten about.
But is that a plus? That's a plus, though. I mean,
what I'm saying, if you're going to look at it, then expand the argument to where it gives people a great more substance rather than it's been here, let's keep it here.
Are you troubled by the fact? I mean, this is an ad for a company owned by an unfriendly government. Does that bother you?
I'm troubled more by the, like I said, the term American people doesn't mean American people. It means generally white Americans. And so in the same way, when you talk about the Citgo sign, you say, but everybody, everybody doesn't care that much about the Citgo sign. But
I didn't say
nice
I didn't say they cared about it. I said they see it.
Well, we see a lot of things. We see homeless people. We see a whole lot of stuff.
That is true. The part of this story that I think you'll agree on that is driving me nuts is the fate, regardless of what one's position is, of this iconic thing is in the hands of a New York developer and a foreign country. I mean, why didn't you demand that Boston University, before they sell this building,
we tried to engage
before
with
they
BU.
sell this building, part of their deal is if you're going to buy it, you got to keep it.
We tried to engage with BU, and they wouldn't engage. I mean, there's a limited amount of authority we have, and the biggest voice we have is the people. And if enough people say we think this is important, and we think we do, look, we put up a petition online just to gauge interest back last year when this first happened, and we got 6,000 signatures without trying hard.
How about his thing? You said to him before that it raises the issues. We have an opportunity to talk about all these things. What are you doing for the things he cares about?
We're trying. I wish the Landmarks Commission would landmark more. I wish we had more support in the city to protect more resources. And part of the reason we think the Citgo sign is great, like I said, is it's getting people's attention. And we think the Citgo sign is sort of a warning sign of what's happening about neighborhoods throughout the city, things that are less well known.
But I wish colleges and universities and others would stop putting in their manual, or I don't know how it gets around that certain parts of the city are off limits because you may be mugged.
Well, I have nothing to do with that, and I obviously disagree.
With all of it, because I think that if we frame the historical background of the Citgo sign and others, and we recognize that all this is a part of our city, then I could be more enthusiastic.
Are you going to help him with this project? That's what matters to me most.
I'll be more than
well,
happy
it's not my project.
Well, not your project. The preservation of this thing is your project.
As long as we don't take the Citgo sign down and put up a sculpture for Tangerine Man, Agent Orange, I'll be fine.
Fine. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
It's great to see you. Nice to see you, too. Good luck. You guys talk. See if you can work something out here. Okay, fine.